All right, so, you and I were chatting about this movie, Ricky Stanicky.
Yeah.
I know you wanted like a little more background on it, so I dug up. I did some research.
All right.
I got a few reviews, some articles, and just some stuff to just have handy.
Cool.
So like if we're gonna like dive deep into this thing,
Yeah.
I think
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
I've heard it's
The basic, like the setup for the movie is,
Yes.
we got these three friends,
Mm-hmm.
and they, I guess when they were younger, they invent this character, this fictional guy,
Right.
Ricky Stanicky.
Okay.
And they use him to blame for all their like crazy antics.
It's just
Yeah. I guess like the whole thing starts when they accidentally like set a boat on fire,
Okay.
and then it just kind of like spirals out of control.
Oh wow.
From there, and like years later they're still like using this
That's hilarious.
this fake persona
Wow.
to get out of trouble and everything.
Oh my god.
And I don't know, it just seems like a really
Yeah.
over the top movie.
I love those types of movies though.
Me too. It's just like,
So ridiculous.
yeah. It's just like dumb humor,
Yeah.
I was reading one of the reviews and it was talking about this one scene where Ricky supposedly like gives himself a half circumcision at a bris.
Ooh,
I know.
that's insane.
So I'm like, okay, this is like definitely leaning into the absurd.
I'm in.
I know, right?
I'm so in.
So, what are your thoughts on this whole like?
Well, I mean, what really gets me about this like whole premise is,
Yeah.
this lie that they create.
Uh-huh.
It keeps snowballing,
Right.
like over decades.
Yeah.
And it leads to, like you said, these truly absurd situations.
Yeah.
And I think the movie's really exploring like how far people will go to maintain this shared deception, especially within a long-term friendship.
That's true. Yeah.
Like how much are you willing to like
Right.
bend the truth
Yeah, for sure.
to protect these like bonds?
Yeah. No, I totally agree. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
So how does this so they create this lie, this Ricky Stanicky.
Uh-huh.
How does it evolve over time? Do they just keep like
They totally do.
escalate
They escalate it.
stories?
Yes.
Okay.
Like one of the articles was talking about how they use Ricky to cover everything.
Oh wow.
From like destroying a wedding cake to like faking an art heist.
Oh,
And it just gets more and more ridiculous.
That's insane.
And like it culminates in them actually
Yeah.
hiring an actor
Oh right.
to play Ricky.
They get John Cena, right?
Yes, John Cena.
To play like Ricky Stanicky.
To play Ricky Stanicky when their wives start getting suspicious.
Oh, that's right. He plays what was it, Rock Hard Rod?
Got Hard Rod, yeah.
I can totally see John Cena pulling that off.
Oh yeah, he is perfect for this role.
Yeah.
And you know what's interesting is he actually brings like a surprising amount of depth to the role.
Really?
Yeah, like I was reading an interview with the director and he was saying that Cena was really interested in exploring the loneliness and isolation of a character
Oh wow.
who's forced to live a lie.
Yeah, that makes
Like imagine being hired to be someone you're not.
Right.
And having to maintain that facade.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a commentary on, identity and like the masks we wear.
That's really interesting.
It is.
I wouldn't I wouldn't necessarily expect that level of like
Right.
complexity from a,
From a slapstick comedy.
yeah, it's a slapstick comedy.
But that's what I think is so cool about this movie.
Yeah.
Is that like it has these like underlying layers.
Yep.
And it's reminding us that even like the most lighthearted films
Yep.
can have like these deeper meanings.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's not all just laughs.
Okay.
It's thought provoking too.
So speaking of like what the critics thought,
Yeah.
what was the reception like?
So it seems like, Ricky Stanicky is probably not going to be winning any Oscars,
Okay.
but it's getting like pretty decent reviews. I saw that movie Ticket.
Yeah.
They gave it a pretty positive review and they were highlighting like the consistent humor
Okay.
and that it actually has some like really heartwarming moments.
Oh, no
so
way.
it's not just all like,
Right.
crude jokes and stuff.
Yeah.
It actually has like some heart to it.
Okay, so not high art.
Yeah.
But like a solid, like entertaining watch.
Exactly.
Okay.
But beyond the laughs,
Mhm.
it does raise some like thought-provoking questions.
Okay, like what?
Like one of the critics pointed out how Ricky Stanicky really reflects like our human tendency to avoid responsibility.
Interesting.
You know? Like, think about it.
Yeah.
We all have those moments where we'd rather, like, blame something else.
Totally.
Or someone else.
Yeah.
Rather than owning up to our mistakes.
What's a Ricky Stanicky?
Exactly.
Yeah, like our own little Ricky Stanicky.
Yeah.
That's so true.
All right.
It makes you think about, like, all those little Ricky Stanicky moments we might have in our own lives.
Yeah.
Maybe not to this, like, extreme.
Of course.
But, you know, those times where we've, like, stretched the truth a little bit. Right. Or, you know, avoided, like, fully owning up to something.
Totally. And I think that's, like, a really universal theme that the film is tapping into.
For sure.
And, you know, it also touches on, like, complexities of friendships. Like, these friends, their bond is built on a lie. And maintaining that lie becomes, like, a real test of their loyalty.
Right. Like, how far will you go?
Exactly.
To keep this thing going.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, too, because, like, thinking about it, it kind of ties into that whole idea of, like, truth versus fabrication.
Oh, totally.
You know, like with social media and everything these days, there's so much pressure to present a certain image.
Right.
Are we all just, like, creating our own versions of Ricky Stanicky online?
That's such a good point.
You know, like, are we all just kind of, like, fabricating these personas?
It's like the film is holding up a mirror.
Yeah.
To, like, our own lives and making us question, you know, what's real and what's not.
Yeah, those blurred lines.
Exactly. It's like, it definitely makes you consider, like, how much we construct these narratives for ourselves and for others.
Right.
And, like, where does the truth actually lie?
So, okay, if someone's like, you know, they're looking for something to watch this weekend and they want, you know, like a lighthearted comedy, would you recommend Ricky Stanicky?
You know, I think I would.
Okay.
I think if you're looking for something that's entertaining, but also has, like, a little bit of, like, substance,
Okay.
that makes you think.
Yeah.
Then, Ricky Stanicky seems like a good bet.
Awesome. All right, cool.
Yeah, it's definitely worth checking out.
So it's funny, but it also, like, you know, nudges you to, like...
It does, like, about your own relationships, your choices.
Right.
And maybe the little Ricky Stanickys you might be harboring in your own life.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot to think about.
It is.
You know, after this deep dive.
Definitely food for thought.
And, you know, for you listening.
Yeah.
I hope this sparks a question, you know, maybe like, what are some of the ways that you've seen this theme of truth versus fabrication
that's good.
play out in your own life? It's just something to, like, ponder.
Reflect on.
As you go about your day, you know?
Yeah, that's great.
It's like, it's not always black and white.
Right.
It's complicated.
Absolutely.
But, that's it for our deep dive on Ricky Stanicky.
That was fun.
I know. I'm kind of interested to see it now.
Yeah, me too.
All right, cool.
Great deep dive.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, see ya.
See you later.